Down. Here's your live news conference.
This time, the report is that he was able to separate himself from that individual, gain some distance, try to gain some time, but the individual came toward him again, and so he discharged his weapon a number of times. That gentleman was struck and had to be transported to a local hospital. It's too early at this time to be able to tell you what his condition is. When he left, I believe that he was conscious. We also have not had the opportunity to identify him yet. Only know that he is an African-American male. At a time during the shooting, we believe that there were some folks in the security line who were startled, and so they went through the security line without being checked. So the airport has had to pull everybody back out of the secure area and recheck them for security purposes. And that might be some of the reasons that you may have heard that the airport has been shut down. That's not the case. The airport's not been shut down, but they are having to rescreen everybody because some folks made it through when they heard the gunshots or they heard there was a disturbance without being screened. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer what I can at this time.
Chief, how's the mother and the children? You said children were in the car?
No, there was no children in the car. We just believe that the suspect is the father of the victim's children.
How is she?
Been attacked. Her condition is fine.
When you say that the suspect rushed the police officer the first time, can you go into more detail about that?
I can't at this time because we have to go through our process and the protocols of investigating this, talking to the officer. What we get at the scene is very preliminary, and then the officers have a period of time, a cooling off time, before he will be required to come back in and give us an official statement. So that is very preliminary when I tell you that. That is just what we believe happened based on initial discussions.
You believe he had a weapon?
We believe that he had a rock. And as you can see, there are a number of very large rocks next to the car that has been damaged below us here. And so we believe that he had one of those rocks during the time that he was involved in the altercation with the lady and when he was involved with the officer.
Chief, just to clarify, did he make contact?
Did he know that she was fleeing, or do you have any idea about the backstory here?
We don't know any backstory at this time. Obviously, we will bring the lady in. We'll get a full statement from her as to what happened, but it's clearly too soon for us to be able to comment on that.
And Chief, did the suspect make contact with the officer? That initial, I think you described it as rushing the officer.
Right.
Did they come into physical contact?
Again, that's something that we need to talk to the officer clearly about. Also, we've been made aware that there are one or two videos that have surfaced on social media. Our Fusion Center and our Special Investigations Unit are aware of those and try to find the folks who posted them. Also interviewing witnesses who may have other video that hasn't been posted. So that'll help us be able to answer that question as we do a complete and thorough investigation like we always do.
And was it one officer that fired shots, or were there multiple?
There was only one officer involved in this situation.
And he'll be put on admin leave, obviously.
The officer will be placed on routine or administrative leave per our policy.
And were the mother and the children always in the car with everyone?
Again, we don't believe that there are any children here.
Again, so we've been listening to a live news conference taking place at Dallas Love Field Airport. Let's try to recapture a little bit of the information that we just learned right here. We're told that this began as a domestic disturbance that took place inside baggage claim. Oh, we're now back. The camera's there. Let's listen again.
All the disturbance was loaded because he was by himself. I just stepped in and stopped the disturbance. And again, there is a large police presence at Love Field, and most likely he was just unaware of it.
According to one witness, he said that the suspect actually told the officer, "Shoot me, shoot me." Have you anything to corroborate that yet?
Nothing to corroborate that yet. That will be part, though, because we've heard the same thing, and that'll be part of our investigation into this incident.
We heard nine shots in the one of the social media videos. Do we know how many times the man was shot?
Right. We don't know that at this time. Obviously, we'll send somebody to the hospital that he was sent to try to determine that, as well as our forensic and crime scene work that we will do to determine if that's the correct number or not.
And do you know how long the baggage claim area here will be shut down?
I do not know.
What about the TSA lines? We're hearing that there's been shut down.
I don't believe the TSA lines are shut down. I believe that they're just brought folks out so that they could begin re-screening them, because some folks got past screening.
Anybody coming to the airport? No, right.
Airport, I would say that you need to give yourself a lot of time. Right, so, and again, I'm not the airport spokesman or the airport expert, but common sense tells you you're coming to the airport today, give yourself more than the usual allotted time that you would give.
Chief, was he dropping them off? I mean, how did they end up here at Love Field?
That'll have to be determined through the investigation. Still too early for me to be able to tell you.
There's luggage next to the car.
Yes, there's luggage next to the car. The car's next to the baggage claim. Again, gives you some sense that one or the other may have been dropping the other off. But you don't know that until you conduct the investigation.
So you don't know if they came together or if he met her here? Or
no, not at this time.
And you said that the suspect had a rock. Is that correct?
The suspect had a rock in the disturbance, is what we've been told.
But did not possess a firearm.
Not that we're aware of at this time.
Chief, do you know the role of the SUV that's behind it, the white one?
No.
Was it one of those rocks from the landscaping over there?
I would only be speculating, but that'd be a good guess.
The FBI's here. What are they doing here? Did you guys call them in, or is it just because it's an airport?
Let's really speak to that. They'll have to answer that question.
For people that are in line, for the baggage claim, what would you tell them if they're looking for updates on social media?
Well, probably the airport has some social media sites that they can use for updates, and they probably should try to find those sites and listen to any announcements that the airport makes inside.
Can you speak to what charges he will be facing, assuming he's arrested?
Not at this time, no. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Chief.
We've been listening to the Dallas Police Department spokesperson, I believe the chief, who was just speaking there as you were watching with us right now. And this, again, is a live picture from Dallas Love Field Airport, giving us more details about this shooting that took place now about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Dallas police now confirming that this disturbance, as they describe it, began inside, or at least at, the baggage claim. They say it was an incident between a woman and the father of her children. The officer telling us that that man was, at one point at least, whether he brought it with him or carrying at the time that they engaged him, holding on to what they believed was a rock. From the information we're being told right now, unclear that he had any weapon on him, but then was engaged by officers in this scene that you see on the right side of your screen. There is that officer with the neon shirt, weapon raised. A total of 9, perhaps 10 shots were fired, hitting this individual who is now, we are told, been taken to a nearby hospital. His condition at this time not entirely clear. The suspect, an African-American man, again, appears to have been involved in some confrontation with the mother of his children. Gabe Gutierrez, my colleague, is on the ground for us in Dallas right now. Gabe, as I understand it, you've made your way to Dallas Love Field Airport right now. What are you seeing as we show our audience a live picture on the left side right now of just the mass of people who've been forced to leave the terminal and now can only wait in line for the opportunity to rescreen and move forward?
Hi there, Peter. Good afternoon. Yes, we did make our way here to Dallas Love Field. It was very difficult getting in. A lot of traffic in this area. And let me step out of the way, and our cameraman Aaron Sasson can kind of show you the scene right here. This is the scene right now that is closed off. Now, they are routing all traffic through arrivals right now. The departure area is closed. I count at least 8 or 9 police cruisers here cordoning off this scene. So it was hard to hear that news conference just a few moments ago from my vantage point, but from what it appears to be some sort of domestic disturbance. And police say that the suspect was throwing a rock at this vehicle. Again, as you've been saying, police confronted that suspect and several shots were fired. According to that Instagram video, we've heard at least 9 shots or so. Now, the situation here at the airport, we understand that flights are still coming in and out of here, but there's a lot of confusion among the passengers, and several passengers we've been speaking with, they're trying to figure out what's going to happen with their flights, where they can get taxi cabs out of here. And again, the traffic coming into this airport right now is very heavy. It was very difficult to get in here. We're on the 3rd floor of the parking deck overlooking this scene. You can see the baggage claim area right there. Still a heavy police presence on this scene. And Aaron, if you can pan down and you can show where traffic is moving right now, a little bit further down the street, there is an even heavier police presence where they're rerouting traffic up here. So there's a bottleneck coming into the airport. So if you have a flight here in Dallas Love Field, know that it will take you a very, very long time to get here. And again, since passengers are now being rerouted back towards security, this could have a ripple effect for quite a long time here at Dallas Love. Peter, back to you.
Gabe, thanks so much. And for those of us joining us right now, we're learning some new information. This from Southwest Airlines. This obviously a popular air destination for Southwest travelers. Southwest is writing the following: as this investigation into today's shooting outside Dallas Love Field continues, Southwest confirms that all of our employees and customers are safe, that they are working with local and federal authorities to fully restore operation at the airport. They note, and this is important for people specifically in the Dallas area, that as Gabe has been communicating to us, vehicular traffic is being routed around the active investigation scene by local police. The customers traveling to and from Dallas Love should go to the website, Southwest says, for the latest information on specific flights and the flexibility to try to change your travel plans that involve Dallas today. They say they are working with air traffic controllers nationwide to manage inbound air traffic. One of the obvious problems that is created by this backlog is that even as flights may be able to arrive there, the ability to exit through the baggage claim, certainly at this hour, may be compromised, as it likely remains in some form an active crime scene as they gather new information about this scene. The video you see on the top right of your screen is being shot by my colleague Christine Moore. She is an NBC News producer who is traveling, Christine Fillmore. Sorry, Christine. She was traveling out of Love Field today. She is shooting those live pictures right now. Christine, it looks like the line